Worcester News tonight, Acting Senate President Harriet Chandler weighs in on her new role in the investigation into her predecessor. Plus, the holiday spirit has arrived and a Worcester wine bar is decked out for the Christmas season. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. A veteran state senator from Worcester is stepping in as the acting Senate president after Stanley Rosenberg stepped down. Democrat Harriet Chandler will now fill the position while Rosenberg and his husband are under investigation. Our Cam Jandro spoke with Senator Chandler today and joins us live now with more. Cam?
Yeah, Olivia, Senator Harriet Chandler says she wasn't expecting to become the Senate president, but she felt it was the right move for the Senate to make. Today, I caught up with her on what was her first day in the position. State Senator Harriet Chandler's first day as acting Senate president was hectic, but she says it almost felt like a normal day, even after having to take the job when Senator Stanley Rosenberg stepped away.
I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do at the right time, where we need a sort of experienced, if you want to put it that way, steady hand who has no political objectives other than to do the best job that I can.
Democrats unanimously elected Chandler Monday, following an all-day closed-door meeting. The veteran Worcester lawmaker is the second woman to serve as Massachusetts Senate president. Chandler says while Senator Rosenberg is under investigation, there are issues she'd like to work on.
As you might imagine, criminal justice reform, healthcare cost containment. We're concerned about climate, energy. Those are the kinds of issues that you're going to see.
The Senate president stepped down Monday amid allegations his husband committed sexual assault against multiple victims. The Senate Ethics Committee has launched an investigation to determine how much Rosenberg knew about his husband's behavior.
Did he, in the course of his duties as president, basically destroy go against the rules of the Senate itself in the making of public policy? He's our concern.
Senator Chandler will only fill the position for the duration of the investigation. She says being president wasn't something she was planning on.
I never really sought this office. I loved what I've done here in my years here. I love the legislative part of it. But it is time for someone who wants to do this full-time.
Now, Senator Chandler says the investigation could take anywhere from 30 to 45 days, and once everything finishes, she says she'll happily return to her normal duties. Olivia?
All right, Cam, thank you for following that. Worcester City Council sets the tax rates for fiscal year 2018 tonight. The new increases will affect both homeowners and businesses, but the commercial rate will see a higher jump. The residential tax rate will increase by 3.25%, while the commercial tax rate will increase by more than 3.4%. The new rates were passed by a vote of 6-4. Councilors who supported it say it was the most equitable option for both homeowners and business owners.
They always say that when you do a tax vote that you can't please everybody, you can't make everybody happy. You can only see one side or the other. But this year, I think it's very hard to make any side happy because of the variations in the assessed values.
I tend to choose on the lines that more favorable to the residents because I don't like to lose residents to other communities because Worcester becomes too expensive. At the same time, I think there's some flexibility in the numbers where we can try to put less of a burden this year on the commercial taxpayers.
The council also voted unanimously to support a property tax abatement for the elderly. It will save seniors $1,400 next year. Railers Hockey Club owner Cliff Rucker buys another building in downtown Worcester. The announcement came last week at the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual meeting. Rucker purchased the building housing Dead Horse Hill Restaurant for more than $2.5 million. Chamber President and CEO Tim Murray says the purchase validates the ongoing momentum underway in the city. According to public records, Worcester spent more than $10,000 on its bid application for Amazon's second headquarters. City Manager Edward Augustus says they're always marketing the city, and marketing tools like the promotional video are always used in multiple ways for multiple agencies. Augustus says they'll get more than their money's worth. In 2 weeks, he'll be meeting with the bond rating agencies and says he'll be showing the video as part of the presentation about what's going on in the city and the momentum. A new report shows the Pawtucket Red Sox need more money to pay for a proposed stadium. The state auditor general says the team needs additional sources of revenue like increased attendance. Lawmakers are considering a bill to allow the state to help the team build a replacement for McCoy Stadium. City Manager Edward Augustus says it's no secret Worcester would love to have the Paw Sox here.
And we've been in regular conversation with the folks at the Paw Sox and with our partners in state government, and we'll continue to have those conversations and see where they lead.
Last week, Governor Charlie Baker said Massachusetts would be supportive of the Red Sox minor league affiliate moving to the state. 3 former guards at Bridgewater State Hospital going on trial today in the death of an inmate from Charlton. They're facing involuntary manslaughter charges in the 2009 death of Joshua Messier. He was being treated at Bridgewater for schizophrenia. Messier suffered heart failure when the guards forcefully strapped him to a bed. In 2010, prosecutors determined there was insufficient evidence to pursue criminal charges. But in 2014, then State Attorney General Martha Coakley appointed a special prosecutor who determined there were grounds for charges. A young boy from Lancaster is suffering from a rare form of muscular dystrophy. He's wheelchair bound and it's hard for him to get around his home. As our Rosalind Flaherty explains, his parents are asking for help in hopes to raise money to make it accessible and give him a better life.
Silas Apgar is a determined 4-year-old. Silas has type 1 spinal muscular atrophy, a genetic condition affecting 1 in 10,000 children. He is wheelchair bound, is fed through a tube, and suffers from chronic respiratory failure.
He can be fine one day and the next minute he's desatting, where his oxygen is so low that, we've got to put him on the machine.
His mom, Melinda, says their Lancaster home is not accessible, and it's difficult for Silas to get around. They want to move his bedroom closer to the door to make it easier for him to get outside.
All the machines and the oxygen and everything in the house, my biggest fear is a fire.
Melinda lost her job in 2015 and takes care of Silas full-time. She and her husband can't afford to modify their home, so they are hoping to raise $150,000 through a You Caring page.
Anybody who has kids knows, your kids are, the biggest part of you. And, to have a kid with special needs and be 24-hour care is life-changing.
Melinda says her son's condition is the #1 genetic killer in children under the age of 2. Silas just celebrated his 4th birthday in the beginning of November.
We had my birthday at the fire station.
We did.
Melinda wants to improve Silas's quality of life. She says she wants to give him as much freedom as she can and be able to take care of him more easily.
To have him with you where you are all day long so you can keep an eye on him. I feel like, there's a lot of seclusion that goes on because his health and his wellness requires him to have these treatments.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Thank you, Rosalind. December 5th marks International Volunteer Day, and one Worcester nonprofit organization says without selfless volunteers, they wouldn't exist. The Family Health Center of Worcester serves more than 35,000 individuals a year. The center provides many services, including health care, dental care, and social services. Chief Development Officer Noreen Johnson-Smith says they have many volunteers at the center, including their own staff who volunteer on the weekends to help patients.
It's really great to have an opportunity to shine a light on some of the things that make our community and our country great. And that is that people see a problem, they don't wait to be paid, they don't wait to be asked, they volunteer, they step up and look for how can I help.
Johnson-Smith says many nonprofits in Worcester and surrounding communities rely on volunteer work. The Citizens Wine Bar in Worcester transforming for the holiday season. A Christmas-themed pop-up bar called Miracle at the Citizen has taken over for the holidays. The bar, run by Niche Hospitality, is serving up to 10 different holiday-inspired cocktails. The pop-up first started in New York City a few years ago and has now made its way to Worcester. Citizens says they had to apply to be a part of it and are happy they were chosen.
We've seen a significant improvement. You know, people always came here for cocktails, and now they're sitting down and they see this menu of really, really cool, inventive cocktails, and it's in this cool little postcard, and all of a sudden, like, people want to try more than one of them. They want to try, so groups of friends are sitting down and they get to, you know, try half of the menu and 2 rounds of drinks.
The Miracle at the Citizen Christmas pop-up bar will run through Sunday, December 31st and opens daily at 4:30 p.m.